Tonight we continue our series of interviews with candidates in this year's election. Our guest is one of the challengers running for city councilor in District 1. The district includes East Boston, Charlestown, and the North End Waterfront. We'd like to welcome Brian Gannon. Thank you very much for being with us, Brian.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
First of all, tell us about your background and how that led up to becoming a candidate.
Well, I've lived in the greater Boston area for over 10 years and moved to East Boston, and my wife and I live there, and we have an incredible community, a lot of great friends and neighbors. And, you know, since we've been there, we've always had to kind of stick up and make sure we're attending several meetings because there's always different things going on between Massport and some of the other institutions in East Boston. And I was brought into a group where a few of us neighbors kind of organized a group called No Eastie Casino once the casino threat kind of started to loom in the neighborhood. So,
well, I know most people, you know, they work hard, they come home at the end of the day, and they're too tired to go to a meeting. So why do you go to these meetings?
I care about our neighborhood. I care about our community. It's an amazing place, and it's an amazing city, and I just want to make sure that we have the right vision for the future here. So.
Well, I know you want to become a city councilor, and you know, between the leadership part of being a councilor and the constituent services part, what is it in your background that will prepare you for that? Well,
I mean, the fact that I've spent a lot of time in marketing and communications, where you know, it's really about getting the right message to the neighborhoods so that they know what's going on and what's happening in their neighborhood, and also listening to them to find out what they're looking for and what they need. And I think I've done a great job of that so far with No Eastie Casino, and we've kind of built some bridges between parts of the community that maybe weren't there prior to us starting this. So,
well, what about the casino? I've heard the arguments how this is going to be bad for the whole region, either economically or even in terms of criminal behavior. But if you look at East Boston itself, you look at the community benefits being offered now by the casino operators, the jobs. I mean, how can you say no to that?
Well, it's a matter of what type of opportunities we want and what our vision of our city is. And I think Boston, we're not in some sort of dire circumstance where we require, you know, something at the level of a casino. That's sort of like the hanging off the cliff decision to make, is, you know, economically, and it's not a sustainable future. Sure, there's going to be some jobs. There's going to be some hotel jobs, of course, initially some construction jobs, but I mean, there's plenty of hotel-type restaurant jobs in the city. I was just looking on Craigslist. I saw 78 available postings right now for jobs citywide in hotels and restaurants.
Of course, the other possibility here is if there's no casino in Eastie, there could still be one in next to another part of the district in Everett, and that means maybe some problems for people in Charlestown. So what do you say to people in Charlestown?
I mean, I'd rather not see a casino in the greater Boston area at all. I'd actually would, you know, support a statewide referendum to repeal the law. But as far as Charlestown goes, I mean, right now they have, their current leadership has been advocating for this casino at Suffolk Downs and is in full support of it. So I think the voice of an advocate, you know, I've been against the casino and fighting a casino in our neighborhood for some time now. So I think my voice would hold more weight in you know, trying to make a casino in Everett work with the community and stuff to either allow us to have a vote in Charlestown or give us some sort of you know, mitigation or something like that. But I just think it's not a good idea for our city. The impact's going to be felt citywide from either one of these development opportunities that could occur. But I look at all the rest of the development opportunities that we have to look forward towards the future, and in looking what our current elected officials have done, it's like if they see a casino at Suffolk Downs or a casino as a good development factor, I think they're missing the boat. And I think, what else do we have to look forward to along that beautiful waterfront in East Boston and the beautiful waterfront in Charlestown?
Well, the economy has recovered enough, at least, so that people are building again on the waterfront. Do you think that there's anything better that the district can be getting from that development?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I think right now we have a development at Pier 1 in East Boston that's going up, and There's been several phases of that development that have occurred and proposals that have come across the community. And by the time they actually went to shovels in the ground, I don't think it was very clear which development idea was actually going to be built. So I think that was a big communication miss between our elected officials and the community. This has also occurred with Suffolk Downs. But I think in that building that they're building now on Pier 1, there's only 1,000 square feet of retail space that's going to be made available. I think the perception was that we were going to get an active waterfront with restaurants, retail, so opportunities for jobs, opportunities for you know, the community to kind of enjoy that waterfront. And I think we settled for something less than that.
What about the schools in this district? Even just in East Boston, you have some schools that seem to be doing very well and some others that are struggling. So anything that you see yourself doing as a city councilor?
Well, I think the key to schools is good leadership. Having a good principal, good leadership in the schools is really what drives good performance. I think we do have some excellent models, and I think we need to look at those and see what's working in the community so that we can replicate that in some of the other schools.
Chris, another question for the voters here is that there's a choice here. There's an incumbent city councilor who at least hasn't been against the casino, but there's also another candidate challenging him who is against the casino. So why should they vote for you instead of the other casino opponent?
Well, I think there's several different things between the three of us, and I think we all have a very different vision of the future of Boston. The average age in Boston is about 30.6, I think it is, or something like that. So a lot of people are in this life stage where they're settling down, finding themselves a permanent home. Maybe they're getting married, starting a family, and this is around the time that a lot of these people leave the city and take those opportunities that they were providing with them. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to, you know, kind of take, from my perspective as somebody in the same boat, you know, kind of try to work with that group to find better ways so that we can retain the talent in the city and drive a better economy here.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Candidate for City Councilor in District 1, Brian Gannon.